I got it down here somewhere. Oh, I lost it. Maybe it's the next page. Oh, that's the wrong page. That's the wrong one. That's one. This is one. All right. All right. So here's here's the problem. This looks a little different. All right, so I'm going to make pairs X. I'm just going in the order they gave me to us. Pairs will be X, pecans will be Y, and I'll use Z, or you can use A, B, you can use any letters you want, but usually we're used to using X's and Y's, so I just put Z in there for that one. Okay? So again, pairs X, pecans Y, nectarines Z, pecans Y, pairs X, nectarines Z, just so I don't mess up here. Pairs X, nectarines are Z, and pecans are Y. Okay? So for this first equation, it's just going to be, it's going to be 1.5 pounds times the price of the pears plus 1.5 pounds times the price of the pecans plus 1.5 pounds times Z, the price of the nectarines, and it tells us it's how much altogether? $22.50. Questions on how I got that? That make sense to you? All right. So the family pack is 3X. Keep stuff in the same order. Plus 3Y plus 4 pounds of nectarines was $51. Okay, remember, get everything to line up. And then the favorites pack, 3 pounds of pears and 3 pounds of nectarines and 1.5 pounds of pecans was $39. There's my 3 equations for this problem. Does that make better sense to you right now? Those of you that didn't understand it? Questions? Okay, so my A matrix is what dimensions? 3 by 3. And my B matrix is what? 3 by 1. Okay? So I go to my calculator, go into my matrix, edit, hit enter, and just change the dimensions. 3 enter, 3 enter. So it gives you 9 spots to put stuff in. The first one, they were all 1.5. And then 3, 3, 4. And then 3, 1.5, 3. Then what do we got to do? Quit, right? Second mode. And we go back in, edit, and then number 2 for B, and that's a 3 by 1, right? And then we put the 2250, the 51, and the 39. Okay, and then quit again. All right, I told you about second enter, didn't I, yesterday? So a while back I did this same type of problem. So second enter should be A inverse B. All right, so it'll do that. So that just saves you a little time. Okay, second enter. And if it's been a couple times since you did it, you could do it a couple times. And it goes back 3 or 4 times, I think, of what you did in the past. Just hit second enter. So when I hit enter now, I'm going to get 3 numbers. All right. That number is for X, the 5 is, the 4 is for Y, and the 6 is for Z. So what's that telling me? What are those numbers telling me? What are we answering? The cost per pound, right? So pears was $5 a pound. Pecans were $4 a pound. And nectarines were $6 a pound. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? Doing word problems this way is much easier, I think. So you don't have to worry about just using one variable. That's how you used to have to do it. Now we can make each thing we're looking for a different variable. And then we use matrices to solve. Calculator solves it for us. All right, so let's go back to the warm-up. Okay. A game show host says that he has $5,000 in $50 bills and $100 bills, and he will give you the $5,000 if you can tell him how many of each type of bill he has. It gives you a hint that he has 73 bills. It says use an inverse matrix to find how many of each he has. So this is talking about. We got 2 things we're looking for, so all we need is 2 equations. Okay? So let's make the 50s X, and we'll make the 100s Y. Okay? Or you use F and H if you want. All right? So what's a $50 bill worth? $50. If I had 10 of them, how would I figure out how much money I had? You'd multiply them, right? So X represents the number of $50 bills, and Y represents the number. You understand that, right? So 50 times the number of $50 bills plus 100 times the number of $100 bills gives us the amount of money we have, which was what? 5,000. Okay. The hint is there's 73 bills. So what's my other equation? Yeah, X is the number of 50s, and Y is the number of 100s. So X plus Y is 73. All right, so go ahead and do it. Find the answer now. I'll give you a minute. Yeah, it is.
Oh, shoot.
You will see that the word problems you do today for homework, always one of your equations is X plus Y equals something. Not every single time, but 90-something% of the time. You'll have an X plus Y, maybe a plus Z equals a number. They'll give you the number of items usually.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was nice. This scale, I apologize. That was.
Elizabeth, what's the answer? Correct. 46 and 27. So again, what's 46 Yeah, the $50 bills, right? And 2,700. Okay? So understand what the answer is, okay? Hunter,
How can you have, there's $2,700 bills,
that's $2,700.
so how can you get $5,050 bills?
Well, you're gonna subtract 2,700 from 5,000.
Yeah.
And then divide by 50, it should be 46. And then,
Wouldn't it, wouldn't it, I know, but wouldn't that have to be 50?
that's 2,500, right? That's 5,200 then. 25 and 27. You need 23, right? 2,300 more. So half of, you need it twice, right? That's good, you're thinking about it, seeing if it makes sense. That's good, you should always check to see if the answer makes sense. Any other questions on that, Abigail? Dimension mismatch? Okay, go back into, A, make sure it says 2 by 2 in your edit. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, then go back into B, make sure it was 2 by 1.
I have one right there.
Okay, that was it then. Usually if that happens, you just put a number in wrong. Any other questions? Okay. So, let's try this problem. Okay? You guys read it. And then, these are the hardest type, I think, the mixture one. Go ahead and try it, and then we'll go over here in a couple minutes.
Wait, it's the same question.
Yeah.
Same question. It's the same question.
What do you mean the same question?
Same question.
Hunter.
Oh, over there?
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot to make that go. Oh, what's my computer? Sorry about that.
I kept putting it off, I don't think it, what? I kept putting it off, but now I'm ready to do, huh? Really?
Let's try this problem. Quit picking on Garrett.
Yeah, back off, kid, thanks. Alright.
It's really close, Derek. Good. Now, when we do, instead of doing the symbol, we make it point.
How many liters did it count?
This is the number of liters of the line, that's the number of liters of, how many liters? Yeah.
Where did you get 55?
No way, it's not you.
Forty in the equation.
No.
Okay, so how does it that equals
No, 55.
How many variables do you have? To equate. Now? Really? Why didn't you do it while you were going Wherever it
Stop
was.
picking on, Lance, stop picking on, Lance.
Yeah, you picking on one.
Picking on.
I have this on video, man. No, this is up here. This is up here.
It might work. That's a lot of.
I need
I was looking for that.
Hey, Mr. Manning. Mr. Manning. Mr. Manning.
Erase it. Yeah.
Is that right?
Very close.
Stop touching me.
So close. Because, you know, you got a percentage times how much, percentage times equals percentage. That's how much
Stop messing around.
I got it. Very good, huh?
Oh.
You don't even have one?
No, I can do that.
I know how to.
How many liters?
It says 35.
Very close.
50 liters.
That's what I had down.
You put the point 35.
You can see it.
Why didn't you leave it? That was right. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, I didn't write it, but it's supposed to.
Why'd you put 35?
Oh, wait. Yeah, well, you're obviously like.
No, it's 35, this is really. Close.
It's not 55.
Percent's gotta be written as decimal.
As Gail said.
We're doing it. The other way.
Understanding.
Anything you needed. That's where a lot of people.
I call this abuse.
Right
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you guys are doing a good job. Thanks for trying. These are the hardest ones, but once I tell you this little secret, they'll be easy for you. All right, this is the easy equation. 50 liters. So what's the one equation? X plus Y is 50, all right? Okay, we'll say the 15% solution will be the X. So X liters of that, and the 40% solution we'll say is the Y. So X represents the number of liters of this, and Y represents the number of liters of that. So like I got 2 beakers or whatever, and I'm pouring them into a third one. I'm mixing them, right? Now, just before we even get the answer, to get 35%, and I got a 40 and a 15, which one needs to be more of, do you think? Well, they're both hydrochloric, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean, the one that's positive right now.
Yeah. You think more of that to get 35, or more of this to get 35?
More of it can get to the limit down to 35%.
We're diluting it down to 35, right? But we still probably need more of the,
HCl.
well, they're both HCl. That's a hydrochloric, I think that's supposed to be an L, that's a typo, I think.
That's giving you the same thing.
Okay? So we'll still need more of the 40%. It will dilute, but you'll need more of the 40. Because 35 is closer to 40 than it is to 15. All right, if we were like at 20%, then we'd need a lot more of the 15 than the 40. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because we're trying to dilute it down a little bit, not a whole lot. Okay, so like I said, when it's percentages in a problem, change it to a decimal. So what's 15% as a decimal? 0.15. So we're going to have the 15% and so many liters of it, and I'm gonna mix it with or add it to the 40% and so many liters of that will give me what? 35% of how many liters? 50. So we need both numbers here. Oops, not 40, sorry.
No, see that?
So that's the part here that we got to remember on the mixture problem. You got to multiply the percentage times the total amount. Okay? So, again, these two you have to multiply. So that's what sometimes we forget when we do the mixtures. Okay? It's not just 50, it's not just 35. That's what a lot of kids will do, one or the other. But that's actually both multiplied together. Okay? So when we go in to our matrix, hit edit. It's back to a 2 by 2, right? All right, so it's 1, 1, that's 0.15 and 0.40, right? And then get out of there, quit, go back in, edit the B, which is 2. We're back to a 2 by 1. Okay, then I got my 50. And you don't have to figure that out before you put it in. You can just put it in as 0.35 times 50. And it'll do it right in there for you. I wanted to show you that. Why did it go 2 by 10? Oh, okay. I messed up, didn't I? 2 by 1. Why did it go 10?
Yours is the way you,
I do?
if the, it's with the 0.
Delete it. Thanks. All right, so 50 and then 0.35 times 50, which is 17.5. So get out of there and then second enter. There it is. I had to do it 3 times for it to come back. You guys see that? So 10 and 40. All right, so what's that telling me? 10 of the 15% solution and 40 of the 40%, right? Okay? So, I have a worksheet for you to do. 10 problems. They're all like these word problems. If you're looking for 3 things, how many equations? 3. If you're looking for 2 things, 2 equations. Okay? Mark?
I saw it.
To the left. You don't want to do. Hard enough to do 1. Why is that, Chelsea?
Because I don't really like them.
I'm finding that out. Where's that leave? He's gone for a while too.
Yeah.
You hit that food around the food, boy. You gotta like struggle and talk. I hit that book. Hit that thing.
You should be able to get a couple of them done. You got some time. If you get stuck, let me know.
Now you can work. They are chatting now.
Defeated.
Pig, you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm perfect.
He's tying his shoe.
I was tying my shoe.
Didn't get up to give us any work to get this.
No, that was my.
I gotta stop. You're sharing, right?